Hello everyone, welcome back to Lessons Learned. I'm Sherry and this is Finish It Friday, where we see what I have finished and what you have finished this week. And we have lots of interesting things this week in our submissions, our photos, some really great projects that all of you have worked really hard on, some things from the past that you've started working on and getting finished, and some newer projects as well. So we'll get to those in a minute. First of all, I want to go over with you some of the things that I've done this week. Well, the duster is finished. This is the Amy Butler duster pattern that I've been working on forever. And if you think it's been forever, for me it's been really a long time. I think it was probably last spring or so, maybe winter. It's been at least a year, I'm sure, that I had planned to make this duster, and I have been working on it for a few months. I've left it lay for a few months, and finally, as the end of the year was starting to roll around, I decided it's time to get her done. So I vowed that during the month of January of 2024, which we're in right now, today's the 12th, I would get this completely finished. So after I got caught up on my Happy Days blocks that I was behind on in December, I got busy on her. And so little by little, if you're on the Facebook group, you've seen that I've made some major progress on it. And today I finished it. So here it is. I know I had asked some of you on the Facebook group about the sleeves. Should I leave the sleeves as they were with this fabric and finish them out, or do the let the lining show? And actually I made it to where it could be either way. If I do unfold these, I will have a little bit too long of a sleeve, but I decided not to alter it. So I more than likely would wear it with this turned up. Anyway, I have short arms. Any coat that I go to buy in the store, the arms are going to be this much too long. It's going to be like over to almost to my fingernails. So it looks good either way. So I could actually let this back down and then scrunch my sleeves up, or I can roll them up like this. So this is Tula Pink Moon Garden fabric, and this part is also part of that line, and it was from a 108 wide back that I cut this, and I got a great big button on here. It has the cute little snake head on it. I don't like snakes, but that's the cutest snake I've ever seen. So, and then here is the inside. The button was so big that I had to customize the buttonhole. The buttonhole attachment would not allow me to make a buttonhole that big. So I had to just kind of do that myself, which is not a problem. And it fits really well. I was surprised. It's roomy, but a coat should be roomy, right? It could stand to be a little more tailored, but actually the shoulders are about right. It's a little bit big in the body, but that's okay, because you know, you have a whole nother set of clothing underneath, so it's fine. And I love it. The only thing lacking with it is I need to give it a good starch press. So maybe if I can get that done this weekend, I'll do a little modeling with it so you can see what it looks like on. I really wanted to get that done today, but I ran out of time. I just ran out of time. I just sewed this button on not too many minutes ago. So that's as far as I could get, and I was anxious to show it to you and show the finished coat. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So also, right beside us here is the Wednesday video. This quilt right here. This is also Moon Garden by Tula Pink. So I have two items here that are Tula Pink of the same line, Moon Garden. So I'm making use of all my fabric that I had collected, and yeah, I've whittled that down some. I still have pretty good collection of fabrics from Tula Pink. I'm looking down here because I have a bin that has all my Tula Pink in it. I have one for Tula Pink, I have one for my crow fabric, and I don't know. I used to have a K facet one, but I've used up a lot of my K facet. So, yeah, I got these done. Can you believe it? This is the Wednesday video. It's called Iron Gate. It is a pattern designed by me, and it is in PDF form that you can download and print yourself a copy of and make this super simple quilt. It's super simple, and the video tutorial that I made with it has some tips and tricks in there to make sure that you get the right look with the pattern. So very easy. It's like a 2-hour quilt. You can get it done in 2 hours, and that's including the cutting. There's these big pieces, and you don't have to cut that much. So big, bold, bright prints are the best. And then for your middle sections here, use a black or some other dark, and then some blenders on either side of that. And you're good to go. So I have some ideas about this quilt outside of the pattern that I wrote. I'm thinking I might want to do some fancy borders with it. I'm not sure. I don't know. I have some ideas floating around, but nothing I want to speak of just yet. So I may make this into a bigger deal than it is right now. We'll see. Alright, what else did I do? I did my 3 Barnstar samplers that I needed to do for this month. I'm so far away from you. So there's 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. I got those done. I got my the second Happy Days block done. I have 1 more of these to do for the month. And then I did show this on Monday, but this is the State Star, Louisiana, that I got finished this week. And I've already picked with you, randomly picked on Monday's video, the next one, and it will be Alaska. So I'll be getting those fabrics out to make that pretty soon, maybe this weekend, who knows. I also want to get another quilt top that I have out to long arm this weekend. I've been trying to decide this week which one I want to get out next. I'm still kind of using my practice quilt tops for it. I still have some things to iron out as far as learning the long arm. That'll be ongoing, by the way, but yeah, I'll probably get something else going there this weekend as well, and who knows what else I'll get into. Let's get into your finishes for this week and see what you guys have done. The first one I have is from Sun-Dyed Carol. Remember last week she had a cool version of a quilt that she used her sun-dyed fabrics with, and then she has a warm version. Well, she got the warm version done, and again, this is called All Roads by Angela Walters. So same pattern as last week, but done up in the yellows and the oranges, and there's some bright pinks in there too. So this is the warm section of fabrics that she has, that she made this pattern out of, and it measures 72 by 72. Very easy and quick pattern if anyone would like to make it. All Roads by Angela Walters. So good job. She did her all over swirl pattern on it, and yeah, looks great as usual, Carol. You do great work. The next one is from Becky, and she has a baby quilt that she made for someone she knows that's expecting a baby girl, and they live out in the country with chickens and cows. So you can see here that she has used some John Deere fabric, but she put some bright pinks with it and some light pinks too, and made it into a little girl quilt. And I think it's just adorable with the green and pink plaids, and it looks like your binding is kind of like a pinkish leopard print. Is that what that is? I know you said you backed it with pink flannel on the back, so it's going to be a nice cozy quilt for a baby girl. This is great. They will appreciate the John Deere, won't they? Very cute. The next one is from Jeannie. Jeannie is one of our subscribers who won the giveaway for the light box. And here's a quilt that she has finished, and she says this: I started this quilt 3 years ago. It's called Jumbled Sampler Quilt by B. Lee of B. Quilter. It was supposed to be a weekly quilt along, but I got way behind. I used AccuQuilt to cut the pieces. I simplified the border, and today it is completed. It will be gifted later this month. Very pretty fall colors, nice stars. Who doesn't love a sampler quilt, right? She said she used 2 half-yard bundles of Harvest Berry by Cheryl Haynes for Benartex, and an ombre for the back, and she added some borders to the top and the bottom for her backing. I see that there. Now let's get into the part about the light box. This has to do with her label. What she did is she turned her light box on and she put lined paper on it, like just regular lined paper, and then she laid her fabric on it she wanted to use for her label, and then was able to see the lines to be able to write straight. So that's a good tip, a great tip. I love that. And I also noticed the long arm quilting that was done on it. I think you said, yes, Ruth of Forever and Stitches did this. It's a beautiful oak leaves and acorns pattern. So yeah, that turned out really good, and a perfect edge to edge design for this quilt. The next one is from Dolly. I saw this on Facebook. She's in the group, and she was showing her progress on it as she was making it. So here's what she says about this. She says, I'd like to share the finished project that I started from your scrap challenge. Original layout, no pattern. I call it 4-patch squared. After sharing the finished top on Facebook, I hurried to have an actual full finish for the Friday video. Easiest design to quilt. I used my Jazz 2 to go from corner to corner throughout the entire little quilt in both directions. Boring maybe, but successful. I don't think it's boring. I love crosshatch. It's kind of an original quilting pattern from way back. I love it. She says she stitched together all of the solid colored leftover pieces of binding that she had saved, but then after auditioning it around the quilt, she couldn't bring herself to get away from the printed pieces. So she went into her 2.5-inch strip stash and pieced another binding, and she likes this one. Yeah, scrappy binding, I love it. So it finished at 40 3/4 inches square. She used 2.5-inch squares, 5-inch charm squares, and finally 2.5-inch strips. The backing was a yummy pale yellow piece of flannel left over from other projects. This is gorgeous. I love it. Look at it in the sunlight from your window. It's so pretty. It's such a happy little quilt. Here I go Bob Rossing it again. It's a happy little quilt. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Makes me want to do some scrap stuff. Lord knows I've got plenty I could do a scrap quilt in. All right, Marjorie. Marjorie has 3 photos, 2 quilts. She has the top one here that has the strips going across, and then they're kind of broken up in a pattern in the middle. She says it's a variation of the Robert Kaufman free pattern named Dart, using 1 jelly row and about 6 yards of background fabric. It finished at 100 by 110. Wow, that's a monster. I love the subdued color palette there. That would go in a lot of different color schemes of decor, and it's nice and big and cover your bed really well. The next quilt is a 42 by 52. This is the So Yeah 2023 Friend Box Block of the Month. Yes, I recognize that. And the final quilt is a 36 by 46. It's made from every piece of leftover fabric from the Friend Box. At first I thought this was the back of that quilt, because the same kind of quilting pattern that you put on it was on there, but it's 2 separate quilts that she made. So I'm looking at your sashing and cornerstones. I need to get mine together. I have all the blocks finished. I just need to decide on a finishing plan for it. I should do that this weekend, maybe. I don't know. Good job using up all those scraps on that last one there with the orange borders. It's a little quilt, but you used up all your stuff. That's good. And it's very eclectic and modern looking. I like it. Think that's it. Yes, that is all. So thank you for sending these in. You all did great work. I love that you're quilting and getting things done. We just kind of have that impetus right now with the new year to get some things out and get them done. And that's what we're seeing here. So we're just going to soldier on through our whips and UFOs, whatever you have laying around, because we're not buying anything. It's January. It's no buy January. We can't buy fabric. So we got to work on what we have. And I have 6 projects still ongoing, and that's what I'm going to do. I don't have any need to be buying fabric. So if anybody wants to send in pictures for Finish It Friday, feel free. If you haven't done it before and you're kind of hesitant about it, there are some guidelines in the description box of this video that tells you what I will accept. I don't accept holiday items, patriotic items, or religious symbols. So just to keep everything neutral here on this channel, I do put those limitations. Anything else you're working on, we would love to see. So please keep sending those in. We appreciate it very much. And so do the viewers. A lot of comments are made in the comment section about how they love to see all of your finishes. So keep doing that. And this weekend, I'm going to play with the long arm and work on my existing projects that I have, and I hope you will find a little time to sew a little something this weekend as well. I will see you back here on Monday for Monday Quilt Chat, and then Wednesday for a mystery video because I have nothing planned yet, and then back around to Finish It Friday. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye.